Hi students, today I am going to discuss the key management in cryptography. So this is the major concept in cryptography, how the key can be distributed between the sender and receiver. So because of already in the cryptography, we just send the ciphertext message to the destination. So based on that, it will be the secured message. Now coming to the key distribution, the key distribution can be defined in the two criteria. One is the distribution of public key and second one is the use of public key encryption to distribute the secret key. So coming to the distribution of public keys, how the public keys can distributed from one user to another user. So because in the network so many users are connected. So if any user can communicate it to any other user, so if the communication can takes place, secured communication can takes place with the help of that public key. So because of if the sender uses the recipient's public key in the encryption, so it provides the secret message because of the only the destination party can identify that decrypt the message because of he knows only the private key. So based on that concept, the public key is available in the network. If anybody can communicate it to any other user, so they may take the public key which is available in the network. So that means based on this particular distribution of public keys, there are different types of distribution of public keys. So the first one is the public announcement, and second one is the publicly available directory, and third one is the public key authority, and fourth one is the public key certificate. So now you have to be observed in the public announcement. In the public announcement, in the sense each and every user can announce their public key, so which is available in the network. So everyone can announce their public key. So my key is available in the network. So if anybody can communicate it to any other user, simply they take their public keys and based on that they can communicate it each other. So that means this is a simple technique. Now you can observe the user one can distribute the recipient can distribute his public key to the recipient 1, recipient 2, recipient 3 and so on. That means those who are in the network, so the user 1 can distribute his public key to all the users which are available in the network. So that means if any recipient can communicate it with the user 1, so he may use his public key which is available in the network, which is received from the user 1, and simply based on that key they can encrypt it and simply they can send that key to the user 1. So that means the message to the user 1. So here you can observe this is the simple technique because every user can announce their public key and distributed their public keys to the remaining user. And coming to the second one, public key available directory. Public key available directory in the sense you can observe publicly available directory. So here one of the directory is maintained. So if any user may communicate it to any other user, first they can register their public keys in the public key available directory. So one of the directory is available in the network which is maintained by the administrator. So the public key directory can maintain all the users public keys, those who are in the network. So that means here you can observe if the user A, simply you can identify the user A, so he sends his public key to the public key available directory. And similarly the B user can distribute his public key to the public key available directory. So both user can register their public key. After that only the communication takes place. That means a trusted authority maintains a directory, so with a name and the public key for each and every participant. So each and every participant registered a public key with the directory authority. That means if any user may communicate it to any other user, so before they communicate, they must register their public key in the public key available directory. So this is the second technique. So in the first one, the public key announcement, public announcement in the sense each and every user can send his public key to the particular user. And the second one is the public key available directory. The public key available directory is a directory which should maintain all the users public key. If any user can communicate it to any other user, they must registered their public keys in this particular public key available directory. And coming to the third one is the public key authority. So what the public key authority is nothing but it is similar to the directory. So but it provides more secured than the public available directory, because here the authority is maintained, the authority is concerned. You just observe this particular so this particular communication between the initiator and the responder. So you may be observed the initiator A requests the time one message to the public key authority for a particular time, that is the T1. So now immediately the public key authority will send the responder B public key with his authenticated key. Now you can observe this is some more secured concept compared to the previous two. Now you can observe this is the second message. This message which is coming from the a public key authority. So what the public key authority, whatever the request is taken from the initiator, the public key authority will send that particular information. That means what the user A sends that message, request message is, please I am going to say, I am going to communicate with the responder B. So please establish the connection or send the public key of the responder B. Immediately the public key authority will send, so the public key, that is here you can observe the user B public key. The user B public key, this one includes that message that sent to the initiator A. Similarly, the responder B also requested the time 2 message. That means different times he may send that one request message to the public key authority. Immediately the public key authority will send the public key of the initiator A. Initiator A's public key. So simply it sends the message to the responder. Now once they can receive their public key, now you can observe the third one. The third one is nothing but using B's public key. This is the third message which is sent from the initiator A. So simply he prepared that particular N1. N1 is the newly message, the nonce message or the new message. Whatever the message is communicated, that message is encrypted with the help of the B's public key. So it provides the security, because if anyone can identify that message, if anyone can retrieve that message, so there is no way to identify that message, because of that message is only decrypted by the responder B only, because of he knows only his private key, because already A uses the B's public key. So in the decryption, so the B's private key must be used. So here the B cannot send his private key to anybody, because of the secrecy is in private key, not in public key. Based on that concept, so that key must be secured. So that way automatically that a message can be secured. And similarly, the responder B, you can observe the sixth message. The responder B can send the message with the help of the public key of the initiator A. Similarly, the vice versa, they can use their user's public key. That means initiator A can use the responder's B public key. The responder B uses the initiator A's public key. And once they can prepare the message, that message can be provided as the secured manner. So finally, whatever the message, newly message is received from the responder B by the initiator A, again the initiator A can send the newly message with the encryption of the public key. So any type of message they can communicate it easily, because once they can get the public key. So this is a more secured, because already those keys are available in the authority. The public key authority can send only that public key to the initiator A and the responder B based on their requested message. So this is it provides a somewhat secured message, because of using their public keys, the destination is only identify that particular message because of their using their private keys. So this is the third one, it is the most important one. And the fourth type of the key distribution is the public key certificate. So what the public key certificate is nothing but, so the certificate, so if any users can communicate it in the network, you can observe here. So once they can receive the certificate from the certificate authority, then only the communication is possible. So here you make it observe one more identification. So once they can send their certificates, Here you can observe A can receive his certificate from the certificate authority, and B also receives one certificate from the certificate authority. Once they can receive their certificate from the certificate authority, simply they can exchange their certificate. You can observe here, A can send his certificate to B and B can send his certificate to A. That means here, so both can exchange their certificate from which is received from the certificate. So this is the valid parties. So what in particular the certificate authority can shows is nothing but, so these two are identified the valid users. The A is a recognized user or the B is also the recognized user, because of they can receive their public keys from the certificate authority. So this is one more security concept, because of without receiving the certificate from the certificate authority, the communication is not taken place in the network, because of they don't involve to take the communication. If any user without having any certificate, so that particular message can be discarded automatically. So he may be not available in the certificate, he may not be available in the certificate authority issues, so automatically that user may not be recognized. So in the communication criteria, so before they can exchange their message or communicated their message, so first they can distributed their certificates to the each and every user, those who are in the communication. So once they can receive their certificate, then only the communication is taken place. So this is the third one. And the next one is, you can observe the second concept is of the key management is, so the use of public key encryption to distribute the secret key. So that concept I am going to explain in the next video.